don't know exactly actually how when the first building here was built or who built it. We just know actually from a history of the place, it used to be called Sweet Waters by the local tribe of Indians actually who lived here. And one of the cemeteries actually was right behind the Roadhouse, actually about maybe a couple 100 feet further down and stuff actually. And that place was afterwards moved what is today Fife Cemetery. Uh, the first building here probably was built somewhere in 1880s, something like that. In 1910, we know that it was already established restaurant with a pretty high clientele, and that was all the way until Prohibition, when it became speakeasy. There's a lots of legends from that period. Some was actually that there was a still down in the basement, that there was uh, even one gangster killed in a basement and buried somewhere behind the steps. Stories about the ghosts start from already from that time. We also know that this place was before that was also underground railroad, and we also know that there was tunnels dug underneath that they connected one house and also another house further down, and especially was used during Prohibition to move more important customers outside of the possible raid. When the stories kind of like took a little bit stronger hold, and when it went further out that this place is haunted, a couple of articles were written about it, and somebody wrote that in a book, and I was mentioned, and from there I think some people actually who are doing paranormal investigation actually uh, they wanted us to host them during the night for them to do the investigation. Each of them had a different objective. Some of them just had fun, they took that kind of like a semi seriously. They had a really good time, and we had a good time with them, and you talked about many things. They had their equipment, they investigated. All of them saw that they saw activity, especially one thing that they always said was in the area behind the bar and all the way to our entrance. That is one area that it is always seen. Second area was here in the entryway, and the another one was actually by our piano. Many people heard about somebody would just kind of touch a note on the piano or something like that, actually out of nowhere, when nobody was around, things like that. So, that was something actually that it was always interesting then. Uh, Different crew was very serious about it. They had like a equipment with the flashing points, and then actually they would demand it to be completely quiet, and they would record all the sounds, and actually from the sounds and reaction of the ghost to the flashing lights, they would kind of consider paranormal activity. When we speak, does one believe in ghosts or doesn't? I always felt that I never believed in ghosts. But then, you kind of have some kind of coincidences and stuff actually where you scratch your head and say, like, well, how did this happen? One of the areas that I kind of found myself kind of wondering was that I always had a help in this place, actually, with the construction or with the restoration of the uh, uh, place to some of its own luster from before. uh, was that we really kind of had help. We were not that knowledgeable as much as I always felt we had kind of so much of good luck in it, and I attribute that to the ghosts. Uh, really, everybody had a different experiences. Uh, our cooks would say actually that all of a sudden the pots and pans would be flying after them. You know, I haven't witnessed it, but they swear to it. You know that all of a sudden there will be a huge rumble in the kitchen, and they said they were attacked. uh, People did saw shadows. I can tell you that I kind of like always felt actually all of a sudden if you just turn around and all of a sudden actually you feel like somebody was there. I had the experience too actually where I was by myself here and and all of a sudden I would hear somebody whistle and no music, nothing was on. So that kind of things. Uh, One thing to kind of like elaborate on actually it's like a how does one consider actually is is the ghost real or how does one perceive place actually having ghosts is my wife would say that the ghost actually that we call Edward that is known here to everybody actually as Edward although it might be more than one as one of the people actually said uh, that they saw is that my wife said actually that Ghost actually is happy with me being an owner and it's baiting me. So not to leave this place. And every time actually when I would go overseas or go somewhere by myself and stuff, something major would break. Like whether it would be like a entire heating system or a walk-in cooler or something like that, actually just to show his own displeasure of me not being here. Our place is a place that has been in business for over 100 years. It welcomed old railroad workers, had here people actually who were coming here with their parents who came here while they were working. They had their retirements here and even their last gathering after their funerals here. It's been a long time in here, and our feeling always was that we have to keep it for the working man, for working men who want to meet each other, who want to have family here, who want to have a beer or wine or a couple of shots together, and just to kind of be a community place where actually people feel comfortable, that they can meet each other. Everybody here is welcome, absolutely everybody, and everybody can attest to that. That we welcome anybody who has respect for the other people around. We have a respect for them.